This is the Saros 10R robot vacuum and mop from Roborock. What you notice right away is its sleek, compact design. A black body with modern curves and a profile that's much thinner than most robot vacuums. It looks like something that belongs under your furniture, not just around it. From my experience, design is important because nobody wants a robot vacuum that constantly gets stuck or can't reach under beds or sofas. But with this one, at just 3.14 inches tall, that hasn't been an issue at all in my house. When I first got the Saros 10R, I'll admit, I was curious about whether the ultra-thin design would mean sacrificing other features or power. I even thought, is it going to clean as well as those bulkier models? But after testing it out, it's clear Roborock kept all the key features and made it smarter and more efficient. Let me give you a quick review of my experience and some of the highlights, especially if you're new to robot vacuums or just want something that makes your daily cleaning way less of a chore. Right from the start, the setup process was straightforward. The only thing that made me pause was linking the Saros 10R with my home Wi-Fi, since it only works on 2.4 GHz, not 5 GHz. Once I had it paired to the Roborock app and my smart home setup, I use Alexa and Google Home, I was set. The app lets you set up cleaning routines, customize how you want each room done, and even map out no-go zones, which is great if you have areas you want the vacuum to avoid, like a pile of cables or your pet's favorite sleeping spot. One of my favorite key features is the smart navigation. They call it StarSight Autonomous System 2.0, which sounds technical, but what it really means is the Saros 10R does an amazing job of understanding where it is in your home, thanks to a combination of laser sensors and a front-facing camera. What's cool about the camera is you can see what's happening in your house through the app, all live footage. I've even checked in on my pets with the one-click pet search feature. It snaps a photo and sends it right to your phone. That's not something you usually see in robot vacuums, and honestly, it's just fun to have. I was a little unsure about mopping performance since I've tried other models where the mop seems like more of an afterthought. Here, it's actually integrated really well. The Saros 10R has dual spinning mop pads that can extend outward to reach into corners and along edges, which is where a lot of older robots just can't reach. When it detects carpet, it automatically lifts the mopping pads up so it doesn't get your carpet wet. This has been huge for me since my house is part carpet and part hardwood. There were no more oops, it mopped my expensive area rug moments, which I've dealt with from cheaper vacuums. One of those features I didn't expect to use was the self-emptying dock. After a cleaning run, the robot backs into the dock and your daily dust, debris, and pet hair just disappears into a sealed dust bag for up to 60 days without me emptying anything. I used to hate emptying dustbins every day, but here, all I need to do is replace the dust bag about once every 2 months. It also refills the water tank and even mixes in detergent for mopping, so I don't have to constantly check on it. And when the mop pads get dirty, the dock uses hot water and then hot air to wash and dry them. Not only does this keep the mop pads from getting gross and smelly, but it also saves me the time of having to clean them myself, which I definitely appreciate. I should probably mention pet hair, which a lot of people worry about. The main brush underneath is designed to prevent hair from wrapping around it. If you've ever owned a vacuum before, you know how annoying it is to cut tangled hair out of the brush. With Saros 10R, hair gets funneled straight into the center and sucked up. From my experience, this works well for surface pet hair. But if you have a deep and thick carpet, you might still need a traditional vacuum occasionally for a really deep clean. On floors and low-pile carpets, though, it's been great in picking up fur for my golden retriever. Another thing that stood out during my review is its quiet operation. While some robotic vacuums can get pretty loud, especially on their highest suction power, the Saros 10R is noticeably quieter. If you have kids napping, work from home, or just don't want to listen to things whirring around, it's pleasant. Yet it still has strong suction, enough to pick up everything from cereal spills to fine dust, cat litter, you name it. Now the smart features go beyond just voice assistance. The robot learns the layout of your house after a few cleaning runs, remembers where the thickest carpets are, and adapts its cleaning route over time. For thresholds and small steps, the Adaptalift chassis lets the wheels and frame lift up and get over obstacles, up to 4 centimeters high. If you're in an older house with tricky transitions between rooms, it matters more than you'd think. No more getting stuck whenever it hits a doorway ledge. Sometimes I needed to reset the mapping, especially after moving furniture around, but that takes just a few minutes in the app. The digital display helps you keep track of cleaning performance, runtime, and gives reminders if it needs attention. I also like how you can schedule detailed cleaning. For example, heavier mopping in the kitchen and quick vacuum in the bedrooms. If the Saros 10R senses that the mop water is dirty after cleaning, it will go back to the main station, clean itself, and then return for a second round. No input needed from me. In my opinion, this makes it perfect for busy people or anyone who wants that always clean look without effort. Battery life is solid. I usually get about 2.5 to 3 hours of runtime before it returns to charge. That's enough for my 3-bedroom house on a single charge. Recharging is pretty quick too. Now, it's not flawless. From my experience, you might notice some minor smears if it goes over really muddy messes in a single pass. You might want to set it for 2 or even 3 runs in really dirty areas, especially after those rainy days with paw prints. And while the robot does a fantastic job with most obstacles, there were a few times it didn't quite avoid toys or tangled with charging cables. I just recommend picking up floor clutter before you send it on its way. The initial setup wasn't perfect either. The instructions about Wi-Fi frequencies took me a minute to figure out, but after that, it was smooth sailing. One more small thing I enjoy is the Hello Rocky voice assistant. I can just tell it to start, stop, clean certain rooms, or even check on my living room without needing my phone. I did try calling my dog through the two-way video. He was a bit confused at first, but it works. If you've never used a robot vacuum before, I'd recommend this for someone who wants as close to hands-off cleaning as possible. It just takes care of itself, vacuums, mops, empties, and even washes its own mop pads. If you have a mix of hard floors and carpet, pets, or limited space under furniture, it solves a lot of headaches. It blends in nicely in modern homes with its low design and doesn't stick out or look clunky. In conclusion, the Saros 10R robot vacuum and mop is a dependable cleaning companion that makes keeping the house neat way less of a hassle. While there are a few small quirks, it's full of smart details and convenience that make it stand out. From my experience, you don't need to babysit it or spend ages figuring things out. I've gone from constantly cleaning up after kids and pets to barely thinking about vacuuming and mopping at all. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the Saros 10R robot vacuum and mop. Thank you for watching.